What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ilias. I'm a photographer located in Athens, Greece, and if you follow this channel for quite a bit, you probably know that I'm a huge lover of photography filters. And today I'm going to be using for the first time in the city the K&F Concept light pollution filter. This specific filter over here is designed to cut off basically the light pollution of all these ugly city lights, so that way we get a way more balanced scenery. So the plan for today is to use this filter over here in this urban environment in order to see how it performs with all these various city lights and discuss the before and after. I've also used this filter over here for Milky Way photography, which I think is a really important topic in terms of light pollution. And to be completely honest, I was really blown away. But there are a few more things that we need to talk about. So long story short, I want to take a few really nice Milky Way shots this season. I always take a few days off in order to visit my village, which has minimum light pollution, especially if we put it against Athens, let's say, or another really big city. So I asked K&F Concept to send me this light pollution filter over here because I thought that it would be really useful to reduce as much light pollution as possible in order to get the clearer sky as possible. So for my Milky Way shots, I use the Nikon GFC over here with the TT-Artisan 10mm f2 lens. This is a really nice wide prime lens. I think it's ideal for astrophotography. I use the K&F Concept tripod over here, which is my main tripod for the past 2 years, something like that. Really sturdy tripod as well. Everything is going to be linked down below. And I took a few images with and without the light pollution filter so I could see the difference that it creates on the night sky in my village. So let's see the results of the Milky Way shots and discuss if it's actually worth it to use a light pollution filter for astrophotography or not. These images that you're looking right now are unedited, straight out of the camera. We're going to see the edited files in just a little bit. And as you can see here from the unedited files, you can see that we have a lot of light pollution from the other villages, which is leaking inside of our frame. And the really crazy part is that the moment I used this filter over here, it took away most of the light pollution, which was a crazy thing to see. And it also corrected the colors of the whole scenery, which was also a really huge bonus because I didn't have to correct the white balance that much later in the post. So if you're planning on doing astrophotography in a place with just a little bit of light pollution and you are worried about this kind of stuff, then this filter over here is definitely a must, and it will cut off lots of light pollution and it will give you way more detail in the night sky. But if you are in a really dark location and you don't have any light pollution leaking inside of your frame, then I would suggest to not use this kind of filter because it might affect the final outcome of your Milky Way. But like I said, if you have a little bit of light pollution like I have on my village, then this filter over here is a really big help. And lastly, if you're doing deep space astrophotography, then a light pollution filter is always recommended from all the professionals out in the field. Enjoy the astrophotography images and let's continue on in order to take a few urban images. Alright, so we have over here our first composition. It's a really simple composition of this beautiful building over here that we have in downtown Athens. I'm using the auto white balance of the camera. I don't know how other cities are, but here in Athens we have this really ugly yellowish greenish tint from all these street lamps. Let's take an image without the filter so we can later on compare the difference. 1, 2, 3, nice. And let's now screw the filter on the top over here in order to see the difference. 1, 2, 3, and we got a second picture. Really quickly from the back of the camera, what I can see here is that it reduces the overall light that is leaking inside of the frame, like it exposes the highlights much better in this darker environment. It also has a color shift, a beautiful color shift in my opinion. Like it actually feels like I'm in a movie right now, and this is all without editing what you're seeing right now. This scenery over here is without any editing. And I think that the colors are much better on these photographs over here with the filter rather than without the filter, in my opinion. Let's also do a video test. Auto white balance, let's do a 4K 30p video over here. This is the video clip without the filter, and now let's screw on the filter. You are seeing this live as it's happening, and boom, I think it looks much better. Alright, so I think this first test over here is a success. The light pollution filter definitely does a lot of work that is not easy to fix later in post. Cutting off the ugly light pollution and reducing that really ugly yellowish greeny tint that we have in cities like these, I think is really huge. But for now, let's take a few more images in order to see the before and after, and yeah, we need to do a few more tests. Alright, for my second test, I will try to create a long exposure in order to see how this filter affects the trails of the cars and other objects. I have a slightly weird composition over here. I'm framing basically a bus stop on the right side of the image, and on the left side we will have the light trails. But yeah, all we have to do is take a few images and test it out. Not bad. Okay, so we took a few images without the filter. So let's put in now the filter on the front and see the difference that it creates. All right, excuse me about the cars, but I think that this is a really nice composition for the outro. Anyways, about the filter, like personally, I'm really impressed. Like, it's not the most flashy filter, it's not like a blue streak filter or a star filter or a diffusion filter even, which I love and use all the time. And you can also see all the reviews down below on the description about all these different filters. And yeah, like I was saying, if you do astrophotography and you want to cut off the light pollution, this thing is really great. Like, you can see the before and the after, with and without the filter, how big of a difference it makes. And also, if you shoot a lot in the city during the night hours and your city has really ugly light, then this will definitely help you out by retaining the highlights and also retaining a really nice color balance in your overall scenery. So I think, especially for the price, because this is not really expensive, I think this filter over here is really worth it. Of course, it depends on the type of a shooter that you are. And yeah, a bus is in front of me, but I will continue speaking for now. So yeah, I think that this is everything that I have to say about this filter over here. If you think that it will provide value to your photography and your videography, then definitely check it out. I think it's a really nice thing to have in your arsenal. If you don't shoot during the night, then this is basically useless for you. A huge thank you to 𝐾𝐻 for providing this filter to me. If you want to check it out, there's going to be a link down below from this video. Anyways, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your valuable time by watching my content. This really means the world to me. If you want to support this channel a little bit further, then you can grab my presets down below in the description as well. A really affordable pack with many presets in there. And yeah, I think that's about it. See you next time. Take care. Peace.